Log entry the Founder 17. Location, Ancient Babylon. Time, late afternoon, around sunset. The day's oppressive heat begins to fade, but the air remains thick, heavy with the unmistakable sense of clay and life. My time machine, a silvery orb, camouflaged, itself on the city's outskirts, mimicking a discarded pile of rubble shaped like an abandoned mud brick dwelling. On the surface, I appear to be just another foreigner, one of the many travelers the Babylonian Empire welcomes. Inside, however, I'm the only one who knows what the future holds for these great walls. The first sound that greeted me wasn't trumpets or celebration, but the constant organic murmur of a living city. The buzz of voices blended with the distant bleating of sheep, the rhythmic clanging of a blacksmith's bronze hammer against a stone anvil, and the monotonous chant of a town crier selling pottery jars. The streets aren't paved with stone, but with compacted clay. Each step kicks up a fine golden dust cloud that mingles with the setting sun's light. The sun, an orange ball of fire, casts slanted rays that highlight every brick of the houses and project long, distorted shadows. The buildings are simple yet sturdy, made of baked clay bricks and seem to emerge from the very earth. While their walls are uniform in color, their doorways are adorned with colorful tapestries and potted plants. It is a city that exudes a rustic and imposing beauty. Part 2. The city's heart, the market and the zigguratas. I delved deeper into the city. I arrived at the market, Babylon's pulsating heart. It's a labyrinth of colors, smells and sounds. Rustic wooden stalls stretch for an entire block, overloaded with all kinds of goods. Piles of dates and dried figs give off a sweet, sugary aroma. Sacks of grains like barley and wheat are open for inspection, their kernels glistening in the light. Vendors offer warm barley bread still exuding the heat of the oven. I saw jewelry artisans working with impressive precision, creating delicate pieces of gold and lapis lazuli that seem to capture the color of the night sky. And of course the spices. The air is permeated with the scents of cumin, coriander and saffron, wafting from open cloth sacks like tiny, colorful volcanoes. But the most impressive sight, without a doubt, is the Etemenanki Ziggurat. It rises in the city's center, an artificial mountain of steps that defies gravity and the sky. It is a colossal structure, made of baked clay bricks and blue glaze, with a monumental staircase leading to the top. From where I stand, I can see people, tiny as ants, climbing the steps in a procession. It is the home of the god Marduk, and its majesty is a constant reminder of the power and faith of the Babylonian people. It's easy to understand why the legend associates it with the Tower of Babel. The grandeur is so overwhelming that for a moment I felt like a small, insignificant creature before humanity's ambition to touch the divine. Part 3. Encounters in Babylon. Moving away from the market and the ziggurat, I found life in its simplest, most intimate forms. I sat in a courtyard where children played and a woman wove a tapestry. Her fingers moved quickly, intertwining strands of brightly colored wool to create geometric patterns. She smiled at me, a warm human smile that transcended the millennia. I waved back, feeling an instant connection, a reminder that despite the differences in time and culture, the essence of humanity remains the same. The narrow streets led me to a road that opened onto the legendary Ishtar Gate. It is even more magnificent than I imagined, adorned with brilliant blue glazed tiles and relief figures of bulls and dragons that look ready to leap out and attack me. Crossing it, I could feel the power and authority of the Babylonian Empire. It is a portal to a world of power and wealth, and I could see the expressions of awe on the faces of the arriving visitors. As I moved away from the gate, I saw a scribe in a shadowy corner with a clay tablet in his hands. He was focused on his work, using a reed stylus to make the cuneiform inscriptions, the words of a civilization he was helping to build. I watched him for a moment, wondering what kind of story he was recording. Was it a love letter, a harvest record, or perhaps the story of an unknown traveler who came from a distant future? The sun has set completely, and the sky is now a dark blue cloak dotted with stars. The lights from torches and oil lamps are lit, transforming the city into a sea of shimmering points of light. The ancient Babylonians were incredibly skilled, Astronomers, and looking at the sky from here, gives me a newfound respect for their understanding of the universe. They had no telescopes or computers, only patience and curiosity. The time traveler must move on, as the night is the best time for a traveler like me. But the impressions I have of this city, of this civilization, will stay with me forever. It is a reminder that history is not just a series of dates and events, but a living record of people who dreamed, created, and loved, and I was lucky enough to witness it.